Hi guys. Sorry. Here we go. Okay, so today we're going to take a look at the male reproductive system. So we did the other day we did the female reproductive system. Now we're going to look at the biological male reproductive system. So unlike females, the male reproductive system has structures that are both inside and outside of the body. The female reproductive system is completely internal inside the body. So first off here we've got testes, aka testicles. You can write this down. Again, the things in red here, write down. So they're 5 centimeters long approximately by 3 centimeters in diameter. So they're round little balls. That's the testicles. That's why we call them, the slang would be balls, right? Sorry. So they're located outside of the body located outside of the body in the scrotum, and the reason for that is to keep the sperm cool. Okay, so that's the whole reason, because it's a couple degrees lower temperature outside there in the scrotum. So that's why they're stored there. The reason for that is sometimes the higher temperatures can harm the sperm production, so they can make them have like a different morphology rate in terms of different defects, etc. So that's one of the reasons why it's out there. So the testes produce and store the sperm. And they also produce hormones, including testosterone. One thing people think they think only males have testosterone and only females have estrogen. That's not true. Both sexes have a combination of estrogen and testosterone, just in various amounts. Now, first, we're just going to go through the structures of the male system here. So first off here, we have something called the vas deferens. So the vas deferens is a muscular tube. It passes along the testicles and transports the semen. This is the fluid that contains the sperm. So if we look here, this is our scrotum here. And this tube here, coming out of here and going up, behind the urethra here, this is the vas deferens. So this tube here that I showed you, that's the vas deferens. And it's going to transport the semen, which contains the sperm, from the testicles out. Now, next structure we have here is called the epididymis. I always think this is a great word, epididymis. It's a set of coiled tubes, so there's one for each testicle, and they connect to the vas deferens. So again, this is the vas deferens here, and then the coiled tubes, this here is the epididymis, okay? So, and then this is the testicle here itself. So, and this is our scrotum. The whole structure here is the scrotum. So the testicle is going to make the sperm, transport it to the epididymis, and then it goes through the vas deferens and out. Now the scrotum is the pouch-like structure outside of the body. It contains the epididymis and the testicles. The testicles need to be kept outside the body so that they can stay cool. We already talked about that. Can it deform or can kill the sperm? That's why sometimes they say if people are planning on having trying to have a baby, they'll tell males to not go in a hot tub, for example, because the hot tub raises the temperature of their scrotum and can actually harm their sperm production. Even they say for males to wear a different type of underwear during that time, because they don't really want the scrotum being held too tightly to the body, because you want to lower that temperature for better sperm production. Next we have the prostate gland. So the prostate gland is located right here. So that's the prostate gland. It also produces some of the parts of semen. That's its main function. Now, you've probably heard of the prostate in terms of prostate cancer. So sometimes when they have, what's it called? In Movember. So when males will try to grow mustaches in November, and they call it Movember. That's to raise awareness for prostate cancer. So sometimes people will say, well, do women get prostate cancer? And no, women do not get prostate cancer because they don't have a prostate. So this is only in males, okay? So the prostate only is in males, not in females. It's part of the male reproductive system. Now, prostate cancer is more common in older males, so generally speaking, over the age of 50 is when males would start getting tested for it, whereas something like testicular cancer, which is a cancer of the testicles, is more common in younger males, so this would be under the age of 30. Urethra, this would be the same as the female reproductive system. This is a tube that carries urine from the bladder to the outside of the body. Now, the penis. Okay, the penis has two parts. So it's got the glands, and this is the tip that has the opening, and then the shaft, which is the main part. It's made up of tissues that can expand and contract. And all males are born with foreskin. So foreskin is the fold of skin that covers the glands, but this can be removed by a circumcision. Circumcisions are, well, let's talk about them. Sorry, so pause the video, write this down, and then we'll talk about the circumcisions. Okay. So some people choose to circumcise babies, or sometimes a little bit of an older boy will get one done as well. Typically speaking, it's a cultural thing. So certain cultures will circumcise their males, others will not. So generally speaking, in Canada now, most people do not circumcise males, baby males. It used to be quite common though. So basically this is the foreskin here. So it covers, the foreskin covers the gland, so it covers the tip of the penis. So during a circumcision, they would pull that back, and then basically they just slice off the tip. And so before is the picture here, and then it heals, and then eventually when it's done, then that foreskin is cut here, and so the glands is exposed. So sometimes people will choose or will have to circumcise because for cleanliness, there can be reasons that way. Sometimes little boys don't clean well enough, and which can lead to infections and things like that. But again, typically we don't in Canada circumcise many boys anymore. Now, males produce millions of sperm cells every day. So lots and lots of sperm, and these are the sperm, the diagram pictures there, a picture of the sperm. Each sperm is tiny, so it's only 0.05 millimeters long, so that's really small. Sperm cells have a head, and they've got a short tail, which looks like tadpoles. So it takes sperm about 4 to 6 weeks to completely mature. So when a male, or why do you actually, one thing I wanted to ask you, why do you think males have to produce so many sperm? And in an ejaculation, there's a lot of sperm there, whereas the female reproductive system only has one egg being released. So think about that, and actually we'll talk about that when we talk about pregnancy in our next lesson. So when a male is sexually excited, the tissues of the penis will fill with blood, and the penis becomes erect. So an erection is needed because this makes it easier for the penis to be inserted into the vagina during intercourse. Because in order for the species to keep reproducing, that would need to happen in terms of the sperm has to be released into the female reproductive system, and then a fertilization to occur of the egg. So when the erect penis is stimulated, muscles around the reproductive organs contract, and they force the semen out of the penis. So this is called ejaculation. Each time a male ejaculates, it can contain up to 500 million sperm. So that's a huge number that's being ejaculated and deposited inside the female reproductive system. And those sperm are all racing to find one egg. Okay, so we're just going to go through the diagrams here. So we've got A, B. I don't think I did all the letters. Anyways, A is going to be your ovary here. So this is the ovary here. Actually, sorry, I should clarify. This is the female reproductive system. So every year on the reproduction unit test, I get some people who look at this diagram and they think that it's the male reproductive system. They think that this part all here the vagina part here is a penis. So be careful that you're not one of those people. So looking at this, this is the female reproductive system. So we're just going to label our diagram here. So we've got ovaries here. So we've got 2 of them, 1 on each side. These things here, these little flanges and these tubes that way, those are going to be called the fallopian tubes. Next, we've got down here C, this would be the labia. Just scratch out the minora. Just labia is down there. That's going to be the opening to the vagina. D is this section here. This is the uterus. E is the cervix. This is the opening to the uterus. And then lastly, F, we've got the vagina, aka the birth canal. Oh, yeah, I've got the labia majora. We're not really going to differentiate between them. Okay. So that's the female reproductive system, just a review, I guess. And this is the male reproductive system here. And then you've got these diagrams here in your notes. So the main things, you really need to know the testes in here. Epididymis is this part. Vas deferens is the tube. It's going to take it past the prostate glands where you're going to add things to the semen. The semen is what is the liquid that carries the sperm, okay? And then out through the urethra here, through the penis. This part of the penis is called the glans. So the tip is called the glans. The other part here, this is the shaft. Yeah, I think that's about all that we have to look through from there. So make sure you know those diagrams. There's some in your textbooks too, so take a look at those. Your assignment for the male reproductive system is in the textbook again, just page 84 and questions 1 to 5. And I think we'll correct these with a meetup, with a Zoom meeting, but I'll post about that on the website. Okay, thanks guys.